Hey guys, what's up? It's Nicole. So I wanted to talk about something that was brought to my attention by a friend of mine on Facebook. And she's just fixing to hit her 3 years of sobriety in August. And she's been on Suboxone for 3 years. And she messaged, or she posted about, she's been thinking about wanting to get high. And that she's been craving heroin. And she's like, and I'm fixing to celebrate my 3rd year in August. Is this normal? And so I thought about it, and I made a video about it in my Facebook group, and I want to tell you, I want to share with you guys. So as people who suffer from the disease of addiction, I truly believe that, hey Amanda, I truly believe that we're going to struggle with maybe thoughts coming into our mind about our old drugs of choice, even dreams sometimes. I know that that's normal. I know it's normal because it's something that we did for so long when we were in our addiction that right now we're trying to retrain our brains to, go to a second, a third, or a fourth coping skill other than drugs. But what I was going to say is that, when we're sober and we've been sober for some amount of time, it's not that we're craving the substance, because the way you have a craving is if you take that substance into your body. You can't crave something unless you just recently had it, like say a woman that says, oh, I'm having cravings for pickles. Well, no, if she eats the pickle, then she can crave more. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, what is this? So, what happens is that's our brain being triggered, and that's when we start thinking. And so there's a disease process to addiction, and I'm going to explain to you guys. I don't know, I think I've explained it to you guys before, but it's a vicious cycle, and I'm going to explain to you the cycles of addiction. So it starts out always, you're triggered. There's some trigger. It can be stress. It could be seeing a billboard that has beer on it. It could be watching a TV show and people are using. It could be one of your old friends coming around. It could be a breakup. You and your boyfriend break up and you're not feeling good. It triggers. There's emotional triggers. There are physical triggers. There are triggers that you see with your eyes. There's different kinds of triggers. So it always starts out with a trigger, and then you go into the thought of thinking about the drug. Now, usually it's ideal to stop right there and change your thinking. Go do something positive. Call your sponsor. Go to a meeting. Get together with some sober friends. Do anything you can to stop that thought. After your thought say if you don't stop the thought, say you just keep on thinking about it, then what happens is you go into obsession. And when you start to obsess, you're thinking of how you're going to get your drug. You're thinking of who you're going to have to lie to get away with it. You're thinking of what person you're going to call to get it. You're thinking of how long it's going to take. You are planning out that relapse, and that's obsession. Once you're in obsession, you will go and you will get that drug and you will use it. And then you will crave it again. And then you will start the vicious cycle all over again. So it goes trigger, thought, obsession, use, craving. Then in science, in the big book, they call it the phenomenon of craving, because it's like, it's crazy how it happens, how our bodies, once we put drugs and alcohol into our bodies, how it sets off an allergy that makes us want more. And that's why they call it the craving, the phenomenon of craving, because it's like, once we have one, we can't stop. One is never enough. Oh, wait, what does they say? One is too many and 1,000 is never enough. It's like once you pop, you can't stop. That's what I used to say when I would smoke crack. Isn't that horrible? But seriously, you guys, trigger, thought, obsession, use, craving. So if you can identify the disease cycle like that, and then you're at home and you start thinking about your drug of choice, you can stop that thought right there by doing something different, by changing what you're doing, by going to, like I said, calling somebody, reaching out. Do not think you have to handle it alone, because you don't. That's the whole point of the recovery program, is we are not alone, and we don't have to fight this alone. We can have an army backing us up to fight our addiction. But in order to fight it properly, we have to know the disease concept and what happens during our disease when it's in full-fledged going at it, and that's what happens. Trigger, thought, obsession, use, craving. So if you can, say you're struggling at home and you can identify what's going on in your brain, then you can fight back, and you don't have to let it take a hold of you, and you don't have to pick up. That's the thing, we don't have to pick up today. Today, we're sober. Today, we're waking up. We're feeling good. We haven't used anything. Today, we have the power of choice to not use drugs and alcohol. This morning, hey, Krista, this morning I wake up, I said my prayers, I did my meditation, and I asked God to guide me in my life today and to take my will and just put me on the right path. Good morning, Cher. And that's what we have to do in our recovery, is we have to be mindful, and we have to take time to meditate and get on the right track each morning, so that way we don't fall into the trap of our old ways in our addiction. The triggers, the thoughts, the obsession, the using, all that. If we focus, take it one day at a time, we can beat this together. So I thought that I would talk to you guys about that, because my friend girl, like I said, my friend girl was struggling, and she was feeling some type of way because she was having cravings, and she was beating herself up because she was saying, well, I've been sober for 3 years. I shouldn't be feeling like this. And that's the thing, you guys. Addiction is a disease, and it is a hell of a disease. And right now, we have our addiction in remission, but it's just like cancer. It could come back at any time, and it's probably, at least with cancer, chemo can fight it off. And with this, it's it's so hard, you guys. It's a mental and spiritual disorder. Like, our addiction gets into us. Yeah, Krista, see? Sorry, I had to take my medicine. See, Krista's been sober for 6 years, and she still has cravings, you guys, and thoughts, And that's the thing. But Krista, that you can change that, right? And that you don't have to act out on that today, because you have the power to make the right choices.
Michael Myers.
Yeah. I'll give you this phone in just a second. Okay. Like, when we were using and drinking, we lost power because we were taking drugs and alcohol into our body. But once we get sober and we get our heads on straight and we start, getting our lives back, then we regain that power. And we don't have to let drugs and alcohol take a hold of us anymore. As long as we don't pick up and use, we have the power to make the right choices. And I used to really struggle with that thought. I would think, well, if I'm powerless, then how can I stay sober? But it's not like that, you guys. Powerlessness is when you take drugs into your body. That's when we lose our power, because we have this disease that has an allergic reaction to the drugs. And clean and happy. Oh, Cher, I've seen somebody, I'll tell you this right now, my friend had a relapse after longer than 6 years sober. And I'm going to tell you what happens, or what's been in my experience to happen when somebody relapses after a long period of sobriety time. Something in their routine changes. They stop doing something that was helping them stay sober. Maybe they stopped going to meetings. Maybe they stopped calling their sponsor. Maybe they quit working out and they were exercisers and they would work out all the time. Maybe they had a tragic thing happen in their family and somebody passed away and they just couldn't deal with the grief, so they used the death of their loved one as an excuse to use. You guys, I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of the times it's just our subconscious and us using whatever else is on the outside as an excuse to get high, because we want to get high, because we want to feel differently, because we want to block out the feelings that we're feeling because they're uncomfortable. If we all get honest and really look at our behavior, a lot of the times that I was getting high, I was doing it because I wanted to be high, because I didn't want to think about anything, because I didn't want to take responsibility for what was going on in my life, because my life was shitty. Okay, I didn't get rid of my... Right, Amanda, me too. I got rid of all those people. Every day not to use because I don't want to live like I did before. It was horrible. Krista, yeah, it is. It's a conscious choice that we make every morning when we wake up. To people, hello, on my home from group counseling. Hey, Andrea. And that's the thing. Every morning when we wake up, okay, so you guys know, we could wake up in the morning, we could go, well, today, this is it. I don't care what's going on. Today, I'm going to get fucked up, and we'll be on our way. But if we wake up in the morning and we start our day off on the right foot, even if you get up and you're in a bad mood, get back up in that bed, roll over, and start your day over. When they were cleaning off their windshield one winter morning, and on the way, the water froze on the window. It reminded them of days when they spent... Wow, Krista, that is crazy. And that's a strong ass trigger to see that crackle. I know what they were talking about, to see that ice do that. But what was happening before that? What led them up to that? Something was happening that they said, I'm going to go out today and I'm going to get high. If we will rewind in our minds, or and look at our behavior and look at our life choices before our relapses, we can see why we relapsed. I can tell you guys right now, like every time I decided to go back out before, it was because I had no intentions of staying sober, because I didn't want to stay away from what I was doing, because I thought that I was where I needed to be. I thought that those people were my friends, and I kept myself around the people, places, and the things. And that's hard whenever you're around all that, to get out of that mentality. Do you know what I mean? But I'll tell you this right now. Today, I don't want to use. Today, I don't want to lose everything I've worked so hard for. Today, I love my life. I love my fiance. I love my son. I love myself, and I don't want to lose everything I've worked so hard for. And my priorities have changed. What I find to be important today isn't what I thought was important 3 years ago. Today it's not just about me. Today it's about my family and my son. For a long time, it was just about Nicole. And for once in my life, I can finally say, it's not all about me. So I just wanted to get on and talk to you guys a little bit about, the disease process. And if you can identify what you're going through at the time you're going through it at, you can fight your addiction, and you can make the right choices, and you don't have to go back out or relapse or stay in your active addiction. Oh, Cher, I actually am going to the doctor today at 2:45. So I will check back in with you guys after I get back from there. I'm going to try and go live on my Matt page on Facebook. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And cigarettes you can see where your addiction manifests itself in other areas of your life, you guys. Really, I want all of you, when we get off of here, to think about all the things in your life. Do you have a food addiction? Is it cigarettes? Is it watching YouTube? What is something that you see where your addiction that you had to drugs is manifesting itself in another area of your life? Maybe you have a loved one that you obsess and worry about all the time because they're still in their addiction. Maybe, like I said, it could be food. It could be exercising. Look at your life and see where you can see your extremist behavior in other areas of your life, your addictive behavior in other areas of your life. Because I'm telling you right now, I am constantly searching and trying to find balance, because my addiction tries to show its ass in other sides of my life, other parts of my life. So, I wanted to tell you guys, June 28th, Thursday at 8 p.m., I'm going to go live on Facebook in this group called, I think it's called Medically MAT Support Group, MAT Treatment Support Group or something like that. Anyway, it's on my Facebook page. And I'm going to tell my story, but it's not just going to be like me telling my story. I am going to tell the unfiltered, raw, like it was, like what happened to me as a woman in my addiction. And I'm going to share some stuff that is really, really personal, but I think that it will help other women in their recovery from their addiction. Because for the longest time, I kept a lot of things secret, you know, because I was ashamed or embarrassed. But I'm not embarrassed and I'm not ashamed anymore. And I want you guys to come over if you can and watch that with me, or just catch it on the replay. But it'll be on my Facebook Thursday at 8 p.m. So I love you guys. I just hope you guys have a good day. I'm going to the doctor, like I said, at 2:45. So I will pop on this evening and let you guys know how it goes. Share, that's what I'm going to talk with him about today. And I'm almost done tapering off my Lexapro, so that's good. I honestly feel better. Like I'm not craving food as much since I've lowered my Lexapro dose. And I feel like I was like always hungry on Lexapro. So anyway, I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Thank you for tuning in. I really enjoyed having you guys this morning. This is a good time for me to go live. I'll keep that in mind from now on. All right, guys. Bye.